welcome back to Kelly Loves K-Pop. I'm Kelly. I'm a K-Pop fan and tarot reader for many years. Today we're going to do a reading on Kihyun from MONSTA X. We're going to do ideal partner that was requested through the Tumblr, and then we're going to have a question about his solo activities. I think just kind of, is he going to have them? Can we expect them? I know there's been a lot of ups and downs with him through the years, so I'm curious as well. I've done Kihyun personality readings and career or current energies career readings when he was going through his legal battles in the past. I'll be sure to link that in the cards for you, and I'll try to make sure I also put it in the description. I know I'm kind of bad at that, so if I forget, please remind me. I'll be sure to add it. And we're going to start with the ideal partner reading. If you're unfamiliar with these readings from me, number one, I'll probably talk about Kihyun more than his partner, because this reading is more on like why he would want these certain traits in a partner, and they are specifically about the traits that would be ideal or that he would find ideal, not necessarily about the actual person. I try not to do love readings or twin flame or ship readings or anything like that. I generally try to respect that portion of their private lives. It's hard enough for them to find any peace in their romantic endeavors, so I don't like to venture into that territory. You know, some things are personal and should remain personal, you know. So, but ideals are okay as far as, you know, as far as we're concerned, right? So it's a slippery slope. I know everybody has their line in the sand, and it's different for everybody. It's different, your past, your history, and how you feel about people. Everyone will look at that differently, and that's okay. So let's see, so I'm gonna throw 6 cards of the Caroline Miss Archetype cards, and then I'm gonna throw 6 cards of my Magic of You Oracle, and we're gonna read those together as the trait and like the clarifier of why that trait is ideal in the first place. So let's cut this one at a time. Whoa. Okay, we'll take those 2. All right, and then I'll pick 3 more. Okay, Kihyun. Okay. It's all right though. Sometimes shadow aspects just show work that needs to be done. It doesn't mean anybody's a bad person. It just usually means they're going through something. But sometimes negative traits can and will show up. So if you don't want to hear any negativity about your idols, now is probably a good time to click off, because if I see it, I will definitely call it out. Even being a mom baby, I don't really pull those kind of punches. So let's go ahead and get these. That's too many. Again, today I kind of have the dropsies. Okay. Interesting, very interesting. All right. So we have Storyteller in the Shadow, which is making up tales that harm others, and Euphoria is about honoring yourself. So the thing is, I don't think it goes around telling stories on other people. If he does, it may be like a humorous, exaggerated way. What I do feel is he compares himself to people. And I feel like Euphoria is saying that he definitely needs a partner that's super encouraging. He needs a partner that builds him up, because he has, well, actually I see this a lot in a lot of idols, because I feel like the idol realm is constantly comparing yourself to other people, and that can do really bad things to your self-esteem and the way you look at yourself in general. So I think he needs a partner that really reminds him that he needs to stop. He needs to stop comparing himself to other people. and take care of himself more. I think he also tends to take care of other people more than he takes care of himself. I'm pretty sure that came through in the personality reading I did previously, and he needs to put himself first way more. So then we have Angel in the shadow. Again, I'm speaking like, usually when I get Angel, it's about people that are in the shadow, people that are putting on a kind of sweeter disposition than they naturally would have to please other people, especially in an idol realm. He really tries to be people pleasing. So the card says, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. And then we have Mosaic, which is let chance play its creative role in your life. And I really see that as, number one, I do think he would like someone he met outside of the idol realm, where he didn't have to put on a persona, or they had no expectations of that persona, that, you know, that angel role that he's playing. You know, I think it would be ideal for him to just randomly meet a person. And I do think Kihyun is a love at first sight kind of person. I think he would fall fast and hard because he's got this very watery nature. He's got stelliums in both Scorpio and Sagittarius, from what I remember. Maybe Sagittarius has more of like his nodes and secondary asteroids, that kind of thing, but he definitely has a lot of weight in his chart in those two things, and that's your Scorpio nature's going to help you be very intense with people and very honest, and that Sagittarian nature also is very honest and very impulsive. So I do think he kind of idealizes meeting this person out kind of per chance, having this deep conversation and things moving along quite quickly. I think that's what he would, that's his kind of personal dream. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, is kind of that kind of whirlwind romance, right? Like literally out of a romance novel. That's him. And then we have Warrior in the shadow, which is trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. And oblivion is open your arms. So there is a level of compassion I think the partner needs to have and teach. Again, the Scorpio nature can be very vengeful. They have a long memory, and if you hurt them, they will hurt you back. And if you hurt the people they love, they'll hurt you even worse. So I think the partner would be someone who's like a turn the other cheek kind of person, is kind of what he needs to balance him out. Someone who's like, it's not worth it. I know it'd probably make you feel better, but in the end, it doesn't, nobody's worth that. Yeah, so I do think there's a part of that where he needs a peaceful person in his life, someone who is very pacifist, to balance him out. Because again, he has, I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of times when you have insecurities, you then act out a lot because of those insecurities. Like you can overcompensate and feel that you have to hide it, and when you do that, you actually overreact. Basically finding like your inner voice. It says commune with the source, but to me it's like quieting that outside world so that you can reconnect, right? So I do feel like this is talking about that angel and storyteller like persona he's putting on, but at the same time I think networker in the bigger picture, especially with this minimus card, is talking about like he's doing too much for everyone else in his life and he needs to reconnect with himself. So I do think that's part of also that whirlwind romance seems so idealistic to him, because it's like he can cut out everything and just focus on the person. And I think it's like someone who's gonna say, oh, that's not realistic. You literally work nonstop. So you better learn how to do that on your own. You know, maybe their person is into yoga and meditation, and it helps teach him how to quiet his mind and to reconnect with his inner self and reconnect with the source and spirit and find his strength there in the quiet. Because I just think he's always kind of listening to what everyone else is saying, good and bad. And it's like, no. That person needs to just like teach him how to do it in the middle of a busy room. Like, it's, you know, they have to be the kind of quiet. Well, honestly, I think it's why he resonates with Shonu the way he does, because Shonu's very good at that. So someone who also carries that kind of trait where it's like, doesn't let all the stress get to them, you know? So when he looks at them, when he looks at that partner, he can see the peace in them and find peace from that, right? So then we have Gambler. Gambler. I literally, you know, I can't make this up. So shadow attribute is relying on luck rather than hard work, which you know, obviously we know Kihyun works his butt off. And then we have Ubuntu, which is compassion for others. Ooh, my stomach's growling. I don't think it necessarily means he isn't working hard, but I do still think there's a reliance on other people. Again, you know, even when we were just talking about it in Minimus, where his mood is greatly probably affected by the people that he's around, and maybe, you know, having this kind of partner again, it almost feels like it really does back up this Minimus, where it's like, don't, you know, teaching him not to focus on the negativity as much as the kindness from others and for others. I do think he just genuinely needs more kind people in his life. I mean, I'm a Mombaby, so I'm going to talk about MONSTA X a lot, but I do feel like that's why MONSTA X are really as tight, I think, as they are. Because I think they've faced a lot of really harsh criticisms, and especially Kihyun has faced a lot of the harshness. So he needs to really find a partner, and a partner who kind of comes from a very kind, compassionate background that's going to help him like reinforce that, and maybe bring other people, you know, maybe their circle of friends are like them. It's almost like bringing them and their people to give him more of a resource, a circle of kindness, like a circle of kind-hearted people. He just needs more of that. And you know, that's definitely like the partner is gonna have to play a huge role in that, because he just doesn't have the time to do it himself all the time, you know what I mean? So like his partner and the people they're around are going to be very important for him. You know, he's also going to feel responsible to those people whenever he does get in a huge or a serious relationship. So those people need to be good too. Like their family needs to, you know, I think it would be very important for him for his partner's family to accept him as well. So it's like there's just this whole like kind person from a kind, warm family. He needs that. He absolutely needs that. And then we have Scribe in the Light, which is preserving knowledge and information. And then Hex, which is be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. God, that's so Scorpio. Can I say this is Scorpio just waiting to sting your ass? when I tell you Kihyun probably has a burn book of all the people that he can't stand. He just has a list, man. Either he writes it down, it's in his mind. Oh man. Yeah, so I love that. That is just kind of saying the partner, maybe, you know, we were talking about like kind of learning to forgive, but I do think there's going to always be a part of getting even with people that feels good. So it's like, okay, don't cause problems where there are none and forgive where you can. But if you're going to go get even, like be quiet about it. You know, like there has to be some small allowance for him to just also be himself and have that kind of catharsis. But it's like if there's no other options, because I don't think he's a cruel-hearted person by any means, but I do think if he thinks you are, he's one of those people that likes to see people get what they deserve. So yeah, this is about just like someone who knows when it's the right time to get even. You know, a lot of times it's not worth it, but then they understand when sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, there's just a small amount of that. So that's what I have for the ideal partner reading. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a good laugh. And we're gonna do the solo opportunities reading here. Now we have the question, will and how will Kihyun get solo opportunities? Now, we know for a fact he had a musical he was supposed to do, and I don't know if it's because of the corona, if it's because of the plague that it had to be canceled. But something happened where that didn't work out for him. And then he just released cover song. And I know he said he originally wanted to do a Bruno Mars cover song, but by the time he had time to do it, it was already kind of too late. The trend was passing and he didn't want to feel behind the curve, right? He wanted to do it to get the hype. So I do think he's been trying to like build hype for the album, the English album coming out. And I feel like they've been working really, really hard on that to get all that done before Shonu had to go into the military. So we'll see if now, maybe now that that's all coming out, if he'll have time to do solo stuff. Because I know he says he wants to, but then he also acts like, I've seen him talk in like previous concert footage too that he didn't feel good enough. So I'm hoping he's feeling more confident these days. Okay, let's go. This is my, oh goodness, Deviant Moon Tarot by Patrick Valenza. Okay. Kihyun, no. Okay, the last time I got the Justice card in reverse, he had a legal problem. He got her through it. Oh. I wonder if that's still the reason why he's not doing solo stuff. Oh, okay. Eight of Swords is our fear, kind of a feeling trapped card, right? If you watch my previous Kihyun video, we had Justice in reverse, and it talked about how he had to deal with the school bullying allegations. Turns out they didn't believe, they believed it was him when it was a different person all along. Kihyun was completely innocent of that. But I think there's a fear that if he releases something solo, people are gonna bring this up. You know, MONSTA X have also, I mean, we saw with Wonho how like one perfectly timed blow can just ruin everything. So I'm getting the feeling he doesn't feel like enough time has passed from that. Again, also the Three of Swords kind of speak to that, where it's someone else coming in and ruining what you're working on, or what your ideas that you're forming. It's a third party coming in and kind of messing it up. King of Swords and the Knight of Wands in reverse. I'm gonna pull a card to see if this King of Swords is a person or something, or Kihyun saying something. So I believe, usually he would show up as a cup, but sometimes when you're speaking out about something that's happened, you can show up as a sword. So let's see, who is, okay, so like I just said, show up as a cup. So it's him, it's Kihyun. It's definitely Kihyun deciding it's time to like speak out. So maybe when he's ready to do a solo activity, he's gonna come out and speak about some things he has to get off his chest first. Again, because he has all this fear, and I think he wants to put some things to bed, and he might have to make some kind of public announcement to clarify something. Because yeah, this Knight of Cups, Kihyun's a water sign. I used to get this for Wonho too, so it could be slightly Wonho related. It could be having to do with both of those things. The big things that affected the group namesake in the press, in the past. But I do think this is him coming out and speaking out. And then we have this Knight of Wands is that I feel like even if he does come and speak out, it's not, I'm worried he's not going to plan it out as well as he could have, because Knight of Wands kind of speaks to me of doing something recklessly. Like maybe he speaks out when he shouldn't, or goes against what the company wanted. It could be the company doesn't want him to do it, so he kind of has to do it. I mean, MONSTA are very much like, I think that's why Starship moved them away from V-Live, because it used to be if they were mad about something, they'd hop on V-Live, and Kihyun is definitely one of those people that will speak out about injustice when he sees it, when he feels it. They called out places like NBC for stealing their choreography on a V-Live, and Kihyun and Wonho both specifically did that. So it could be something like that, where, because the moon talks about secrets, about things that are hidden. So it could be that he has to say something, but he can't say it in the way obviously that he wants to. So there's like, it's like speaking, it's almost like speaking in a riddle, because you can't directly approach the subject. So, and it could be that happens a lot, where the K-pop announcements, like he doesn't want to actually dredge up the past, but he wants to talk about it in a way that kind of clears the air without, saying something without directly saying it, is what's kind of coming to mind, because for some reason he can't. Strength card's in reverse here, so it talks about a lack of power. It talks about a big power dynamic, where it seems like Kihyun is on the lower part of it. So there's things he cannot speak about. It might still be due to the legal issues he was having. He may just not be able to fully talk about it, and that's why this knight is saying it's kind of going to be like done in an unconventional or a haphazard kind of way. Because yeah, strength in reverse tells me like the things that are hidden because Kihyun's not powerful enough or in a place to say those things. We have this Ten of Swords. It is in reverse, so it's like wanting to end this cycle of something, and he's not allowed to. He can't. He's not in power. It's not, there were things going on with either this lawsuit or the things that have happened legally that behind the scenes are affecting Kihyun in his ability to do solo work. There's something back there. There's something he's attached to. It definitely seems like it has legal repercussions. Maybe that court case that he proved his innocence, but maybe there's still ongoing things in the background that he does not want to get drudged up again if he has a solo. Like, he's trying to take care of all that stuff. I feel like there was a lot about that still didn't come to the light, you know. There's still a lot, and we'll say also there's things Kihyun wants to say, but if Starship handles it, then we know why it's botched, honestly. We'll know why it gets botched because Starship's horrible at that stuff. So then we have the Hanged Man talks about, especially in reverse, about doing things in a different way, in an unusual way. So I do think we're saying that with this Two of Cups here, that we're seeing collaboration. So I don't think Kihyun's gonna do solo stuff. What we might see is another 2 Chainz project instead. I think he's much more comfortable doing something where he's working with, well, that would be up, down, down for you, wouldn't it? It's right side up for me that way. He's more comfortable, I think, going out in a project. So I think he may be working on something with working on something with someone in that kind of fashion. Or it could just be more OST because that's like a partnership with a TV program. But I think that's what I'm seeing from him. If it's solo, it'll be OST, and if it's actual release, it'll be a duet or a collaboration style thing right now. So unfortunately, I think Kihyun's just dealing with things still, and he's not in a place where he feels comfortable putting out a full solo yet. I think we'll see, kind of like he did, we'll see covers, we'll see OST, and we'll see collabs is what I'm seeing for him. Yeah, because before, this kind of still goes into the last thing where it's like he had something, I think he has a release he worked on, but because of this legal things going on, he's buried it. It may be completely shelved now. I know he was trying to protect it, and he may still be holding on for the chance for it to come out at some point. But it's like he's still protecting it. He's still protecting like his name and his not his integrity, his reputation. He's still protecting like his reputation the best he can. I still don't think he feels comfortable doing that because of whatever legal issues he was dealing with or could still be dealing with. There's a lot that's still behind the scenes that we just can't know about. So that's what I have for Kihyun. I just like you was hoping that we would see more about a solo release, but I think it's just, I'm still, you know, waiting for the right time. But he's still gonna put out things. We're still gonna see him working. We're still gonna hear his voice. We're just not gonna get it solo for a while. You know, the Hangman is just about, it's also about waiting. It's about being put on a pause. It's about just being suspended. So we're gonna see things from him that are kind of not in the way we want or not in the way we expect, but it's kind of like, because it's an interim thing, like he's still waiting. He's still waiting for the right moment to strike, to release. So that gives me hope. It's, you know, I just don't think he has any solid idea of like when that's gonna be. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you so much for the request. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's very hot here. Otherwise, I'm having a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll see you real soon. Bye.